So tonight's conversation is one where we all can connect with. But first, let's get into the wine. We are having a Pinot Noir today
Oh, okay. I thought we were
because,
supposed to have rosé or what was the
well,
other one you said? Rosé or Sauvignon Blanc. I have my favorite rosé. It's from Welcome Road. It's already open. From Welcome Road Winery. They are in West Seattle, Washington, and um, well, their tasting rooms I think are in West Seattle and Bellingham, and I guess they are based in Woodinville, Washington. So I love this rosé, and that's what I brought with me
okay.
today to our conversation.
I went in and went to go find one, and
Hmm.
my guy at Total Wine and More said, I got something better for you. I said, okay.
Oh, okay.
He said, for the conversation you're about to have, we got something a little bit stronger. And
Okay.
I said, you know what? I like that.
Yeah, great.
That one did not want to come out.
Oh,
The
and I don't
cork.
have my bottle all set up. I don't have like a setup like you with the couch and everything. So it's not on camera.
It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get mine poured. This one is 13.5 and it goes for about 18.99 at
Hmm.
Total Wine and More, which is a great price.
That is, mine is 13.4. And
Okay,
I
so
want to
we
say it's like 30 something dollars at this winery that I don't go to often, but when I do, I
said,
get
but
a
when
bottle.
I do,
But when I do, I get this bottle.
this is it's got good. Oh, it's got good legs to it. How often do you drink wine?
Um, I'm a regular consumer of wine, I guess you could say. Not every day or anything, but I do like wine and I don't really drink whites. I drink reds. I love a good cab. And I
Okay.
like this rosé, so
I've had some amazing rosés, and some of them have been sparkling, and they are delightful. So,
okay. All
yeah,
right.
I can't beat that.
Yeah.
Can't beat that at all. But this wine is really great. Let me see the tasting notes on this one. I did remember to actually look that up. It's from Burgundy, France. Or yeah, from Burgundy, France. It has notes of red cherry, black currant, and floral. It's a medium body. So yeah, and it's a good red wine that I think you'll like. It's not too dry, not too sweet. So
Yeah, I don't like sweet, so.
I don't either, and I'm trying to make myself find
Oh,
something because I have a lot of friends that do like sweet wine.
mhm.
I'm just like,
Yeah, that's not really my thing. Maybe if I was drinking it with dessert, which I rarely do, but I don't, yeah, I'm not a sweet wine drinker.
I'm not either, and it feels like it overpowers it when
Uh-huh.
it's sweet. So definitely no, I agree.
Yeah.
But tonight's guest is an entrepreneur. She's a self care strategist for Black women and a curator of intentional community spaces. Please join me in welcoming, let me make sure I'm saying it right, NaKeesa?
NaKeesa.
NaKeesa, see, should I made sure I had that down to the wind down. Why don't you go ahead and give everybody a full synopsis of what you do?
Sure, thank you. So, you said it, I focus on self-care. I really do believe that Black people, no matter what their identity, and what age they are, where they are in their life's journey, should be prioritizing self-care. Because I do want to focus on the group that I think needs it the most, I have focused on Black women. But I do have resources. and books around self-care for kids, teens, and adults. I am a writer first and foremost, and typically I write essays and op-eds about the Black experience and the Black women's experience. And I was finding recently that my writing, I was just like thinking about all the things that I have written in the past few years, and they really do all talk about caring about yourself and why that's so important, especially as a Black woman. So recently I have added literary performer to my resume because I started, so I came up with and produced a one woman show. I debuted it in February of this year at the Vashon Island Center for the Arts in Washington State. And it is called Becoming Soft After the Strength. And so in that, I do a reading of a couple of my pieces, and then I do a community conversation, and then I do a book signing. So,
I love
um,
that.
yeah, thank you. I'm also part of a couple of different literary groups, the African American Writers Alliance. It is a literary group that's been in existence since 1991. I have just been a member for 3 years, I think. And then more recently, in the last couple years, I have joined the Black Women Write Seattle literary group. So being part of both of those literary groups, obviously, it gives me a lot of inspiration. I hear readings and read things from Black women and Black people from all different genres, and it's very just inspirational. And I love going to the meetings, and I love doing readings with them and things like that. I also have for a couple decades now been the manager of my husband's visual art career. He is a painter, and he focuses on portraits. The last large show he did was in 2024, and it was 25 pieces, large scale
Oh,
pieces of,
wow.
yeah, Black women and girls. And it was very, I struggle to describe it because it was just, I don't even know. It was very stunning to see all of the pieces together, and all but one of the people we know personally. So we asked family and friends to be models, and a lot of them came to the opening and got pictures by their pieces, and it was just a really wonderful, I think, homage to Black women and girls. And so I'm very proud of the work that he and I have done over the years with putting images of Black women in particular, and also other women and children of color, out into the world on greeting cards, tote bags, and in paintings. So that's another thing that I do. But my main job, my main work is with NaKeesa Marie Enterprises, my business, and it is focusing on the self-care of Black women. And so, like I said, I have 8 books. It's my book stack. I always
Oh
have
my
it
God.
beside me. And the 2 most recent books that I have released in the line are the 2 for Black women, 100 Days of Gentle Accountability for Black Women. And these are guides to support people in their self care. They are called guided journals, but they really are a guide to help you with self awareness, and, really just answering and responding to the 6 writing prompts that are throughout the book, the same 6 every day. It really allows you to see where you're at with self love, with boundaries, with softness in
Mhm.
your life, and all those kinds of things. And I have, like I said, one for kids, one for teens, and then I have several for adults. But the one for Black women is really special to me. I took a lot of time and energy and effort to make sure that we were represented, not only in the content as far as the writing prompts. I really took a lot of time, over a year, to make sure that they were just really relevant in my mind to what the kinds of things that we need to be thinking about and having at
Right.
top of mind as Black women. And then this one is the version, kind of the deluxe version that has photos in it. And so there are photos, dozens of them throughout, color photos of the book. So Black women of every type of representation I could think of, size, shape, hair texture, skin tone, all of that, age, abilities. And then I wanted to make sure that it was accessible to as many people as possible. So I made the same version with no picture so that I could lower the price. So with that, I do community conversations, and I have launched a few book clubs, and
I love that.
yeah, and they are virtual. And so we meet on Sunday evenings, and it's been wonderful. It's been about a month now that we've done that. And that was from, the request of the people. They, wanted that. And I wanted to try to find a way that I could support Black women, um, not just having a book, but having community around self-care in general, because a lot of times we don't get the support we need or the space that we need to even engage in
Right.
self-care. It can be a very emotional topic or a vulnerable topic for us. And I feel like when we have our sisters, we can, do anything. So having that space to, not only talk about the writing prompts in the book, but just talk about the importance of self-care, and then commit to ourselves and each other that, this upcoming week, since we do it on Sundays, we're going to commit to self-care. So that's kind of all the things that I'm doing right now with my business. And it's very, very rewarding. And I love it. And I feel very honored and grateful that I get to do this work.
Oh my God. Yes, you wear many, many hats.
Yeah.
And how are you? Like, how are you really?
Oh, I'm really great. I will usually not say anything other than that, not because I'm trying to be something that I'm not, but because I really have invested in my care, my self-care, prioritizing myself um, for years now. So it's just integrated into my being, the way that I kind of conduct my life. So I try to do things like rest before I get tired, take staycations, like I was telling you before we started recording. So I knew I was doing this today, so I just kind of chilled all day. Well, I did a little, I roasted some vegetables and I sang and danced a little bit while I did that. And I, was on the couch watching Netflix today and just relaxing and being peaceful. I slept in, you know what I mean?
I love
So,
that.
yeah.
I love that. I took a mental health day
Oh,
the
great.
week before last. I just,
Mhm,
you know how you start to feel like something is off and you're
mhm,
like, I just need a day.
mhm, mhm.
And everybody's like, why Wednesday? Why not Friday? I said, because everyone is at work. So no one above.
And also, you should do it when your body or, your mind or whatever is telling you that you need to do that. So you can't
Yes.
really schedule when you're going to need
Right.
that. You
I
said
don't
you
know when it's
felt
going to
like,
happen. I just started feeling it and I said, you know what? Let me just
yeah,
pause, do what I need
yes,
to do. And
yeah.
I did it. Everybody's like, oh, well, what did you do? I said, I woke up, I went to the bathroom,
Mhm.
and I laid on the couch. I
Yeah.
just went from the bed to the couch.
The village, that's my favorite route, the bed to the couch, like, and back again. Yeah, so I am glad you did that. I'm feeling really good. I'm at peace. I'm in balance. I mean,
And that's all you can ask for,
yeah,
especially in this crazy world that we're living in.
yes, absolutely, for sure.
What first inspired your passion for self care, and wellness work?
Yeah. So I always say, like, my earliest memory of consciously saying I want to make sure that I'm prioritizing my care was around 15. So when I was 15, the term self-care was not something that I heard, or I don't think it had been popularized yet or anything, but I really just looked at the Black women around me in my community, in my church, even in my household, because my mom and maternal grandmother lived. My maternal grandmother lived with me and my parents when I was growing up. And I will always say, you know, my grandmother did do some form of self-care, but I didn't look at it like that because she was older. So I just thought, oh, well, you know, she has to take a nap because she's tired, because she's older. I didn't think at the time she was doing that because she was like prioritizing her care. Um,
Right.
and my mom, she, you know, had a very typical experience, the typical mom experience, I think, which is the kids are going to her more than dad, you know, like all the time, calling her name, asking her stuff. Not that my dad was not present and, you know, took care of us, but we just bother her more. You know what I mean? So
I
she's,
think that's a typical,
yeah,
thing with kids. It's always mom. I mean, even
yes,
schools though, they always
yeah,
call mom
yeah.
first. Like I purposely listed dad's name on all the paperwork
Mm-hmm.
first. They
Mm-hmm.
still bypass him and call
They
me.
still call you. Yeah. Yeah. So my mom did a few things, you know, and my parents had some boundaries that, you know, now as an adult, I look back, I think that um, gave her a measure of self-care, but like we couldn't, that my parents' room was downstairs in our house and everybody else's rooms were upstairs. And so after 10, we could not go downstairs unless it was a true emergency.
They said, no, ma'am.
Yes, yes. They were like, this is your mom's time to like decompress. My mom also, she had a really long commute to work and she drove to work. And so she would come home and she would hug us and she would say, I need 15 minutes to use the restroom, change my clothes, just, you know, woosah before I'm, you know, off to doing dinner and homework and taking us places we needed to go, you know, if that was a thing that was happening at the time. So I look and my mom's big into her health. And so she always has worked out for as long as I can remember. So she would have, you know, you know, her workout time. But other than that, she was like on as mom 24/7 pretty much, except for after 10. Not really 24/7 after 10. We couldn't bother her. But um neither my mother, grandmother, or any other Black woman that I saw, or any woman of any community, got self-care like I felt like they should have.
Right.
And when I looked at them, I said, this does not look like what I want to grow up and experience. You know, I want my life to be full of joy. I want to be able to relax. I really want my needs to be considered just like everybody else. So if I
Right.
get married or have a partner, have children, everybody in the household's needs and care are going to be equally as important. Not saying that it might not ebb and flow depending on what is
Hmm.
going on with each individual person, but I never wanted to be the mom that was at the amusement park holding everybody's stuff and not
Right.
enjoying their day. And that's what I saw all the time. And I saw women, in particular, Black women, haggard and stressed and stretched. And like, really, not only were the people in their orbit not prioritizing them, they lost themselves. And I was like, nah, that's not gonna work for me. So that's what got me into it. And then, of course, you know, I'm 15, so um, I had a journey to figure out what that was going to mean for me. And obviously, I had more autonomy, of course, over
Mhm.
my life as I, grew up and moved out of my parents' house. I had my own, home and things like that. So, and, I went through different seasons and journeys in my life, um, or in my life's journey. And so it looked different over time. What I wanted and what I
Yes.
considered self-care looked different, but it was always something that I prioritized in one way, shape, or form.
I totally agree because I don't think many of us had that
Mm.
mirror of what self-care should look like. Yeah, they did things, but I tell people there's a difference between self-maintenance,
Yes.
care,
Yes.
and people confuse it all the time.
Mm.
Oh, I went to get my nails done. It's like that's self-maintenance.
That's maintenance.
Oh, I went to go get my hair done.
That's
Maintenance. Went
maintenance.
to get a massage. Okay, that could be a little mix
It could
between.
be, yeah, in both categories a little bit, but
I said, but those things, taking a shower is not
mm-mm,
self-care. That's a
mm-mm,
necessity. And people
mm-mm.
need to stop confusing those things and understanding that you really have to see what you need to make yourself not feel worn down. It's just like, with your car. You have to do certain maintenance to keep it running. Self-care is a part of that maintenance that you need to do to keep your body running.
Yep. Yep.
So you have to think about, that mental mindset of how you can, keep yourself going.
Mhm.
Why do you think self-care can feel so difficult for Black women specifically?
So one of the things we already mentioned is a big one, and that is not having role models for it. We don't have a society that truly supports us in doing it.
Mhm.
Our society runs off of Black women's labor, and they value that far more than our rest. And we have been socialized and programmed to not put our needs first.
Mhm.
And I always say that to me, the first kind of step with self care is your mindset. But our mindsets were like really um, kind of crafted and yeah, they crafted our mindsets in a way that was improper around self-care and about prioritizing ourselves. And, I think, received a lot of messaging around if you put yourself first outside of going to get your nails and hair done, if you did anything outside of that, and sometimes even if you just did those things, it's a problem. You're selfish. You're not, um, your mom now. You gotta like give your whole identity up, and you gotta give all your personal space up. You gotta get so like those messages. They do a number on any kind of messages we get, good or bad, can do a
Mhm.
number on us and cause us to internalize them and therefore um feel a certain way about them. And so when you become an adult and all you've seen are those examples, and then all you've heard and that's been drilled into you day in and day out, and then supported by what you've seen, then there's no way that you're going to just wake up one day and feel like I can just do this. And then often again, we grow up, we become partnered, married, whatever. Um, and everybody else has been socialized right along with us to,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's not just us feeling like that. Because maybe if you know, our partners weren't also socialized that way, they could encourage us to like, no, I got it, or you go take a break, or why don't you join a club that you want to join? Why don't you go do
Mhm.
paint and sip, on a regular, whatever it is.
Exactly.
But our society has not taught, um, it has taught everybody else that we're supposed to just give and give and give as well, and that we're not supposed to have, um, not only breaks, but we're not supposed to have ourselves on the priority list. And I think an example that I love to give also is how I think more recently we're hearing about she sheds, but we've heard for a long time about man caves.
Oh
And I would
yeah.
always say, like, well, where's the woman cave? You know what I mean? Like, why is there just a man? Like, they're not the only ones that need a safe space or a break or whatever. But again,
Mhm.
they were socialized just like us to feel like they deserve that, but we don't get to have like that special place. So,
Right.
yeah.
And I think that's why now it's becoming so common where couples are now having their own rooms.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's starting to become more and more common, or people don't want to cohabitate anymore. They're like, they'll be married. Look at Shirley Ralph and her husband.
Oh yeah, they live in two
Two
totally
different
different
states.
houses. Yeah, two different
And
states.
he's
Yeah.
on one coast, she's on the
Mm-hmm.
other. And
Mm-hmm.
she loves it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like some of that has become, women are now understanding we need our own everything.
Yeah.
Because just like you said, when I had my first child, my parents, they were just like, well, it's not about you anymore. It's about that kid. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And you're just like, so that mindset sticks with you. And it's hard to get out of it because it's like, oh, if I go take 5 minutes for myself to do anything, you feel guilty. Like, wait a minute. Now I go, my child is fine.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to the movies. I'm
Yeah.
going to go do this. I'm going to do that because I spend enough time with my child to where it's like, we're sick of each other. Let's go. You go
And
do
be,
your thing. I'll go do my thing. And it's okay. It's healthy.
it is. It's yes, that's another thing. Number one, even if you all weren't sick of each other, it's still healthy in my mind for your children because if you're not showing your kid that or your children that you value yourself in that way and that you should your needs, mom's needs should be on the priority list, then you're just going to help perpetuate that same cycle.
Oh, for
They're
sure.
gonna, they're gonna feel like you only belong to them and you shouldn't take 5 minutes to yourself. And then they're gonna perpetuate that in their interpersonal relationships when as they, age. So I just it's interesting what you said about what your parents said because I think a lot of parents will say that that's a common experience as well. When I was thinking about having children, it was actually on the other side of a very terrible health crisis that I had that kind of struck me out of nowhere. And I had multiple surgeries. It was like
Oh,
mysterious why this happened. I had like 12 surgeries in 3 months. My mom had to come and move in with us to help take care of me. I didn't work for almost a year because I couldn't. And after I'm giving you like the real Cliff Notes version of it, but when I kind of healed from that, I said, well, I better, look into like, because I think I was 36 or something like that. Let me see it, where I am, like fertility wise. So I did that. And when I was telling everybody, like, I had a lot of people who were like extremely impacted deeply by my health scare. My parents, close friends, other family members, it really was very frightening for everybody,
right.
in addition to me, because my prognosis was not good. So the fact that I even recovered is like a miracle.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Like I said to myself, if I survive this, I'm gonna really, really live, and I had a great life before that, but I was like, I'm gonna live to really to the fullest, like be very intentional about that. And so I'm telling everybody, like, we think we're gonna have a baby, I'm looking into everything to make sure that I'm ready for that. My body can handle it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling them also that because I'm a planner, I'm a Virgo, I'm very like organized and I
You're
like
my
to.
sister sign. I'm a
Oh,
Pisces.
yeah, yeah. So I was like, I had everything planned out. Like, I'm going to take 6 months off, the first 6 months off. After, my child's born, my husband's going to take the other 6 months off because we had jobs at the time that would support that. We got paid leave. And so it's like, so the first whole year will be covered. And then I'm going to try to work from home and just have like, someone come and take care of my child while I was working. But I could be there as well. And I said that I was going to have a night nanny. And the vitriol that I received when I said I was going to have a night nanny was like wild. People that I felt loved me said some of the meanest, cruelest things like, you don't really want to be a mother if you're going to have a night nanny. Your child's going to love the nanny more than you.
And
Um,
if they did,
and first of all, I didn't say I wasn't going to ever see my child at night. I'm like,
right.
you all know, like you were crying and having all kind of breakdowns thinking that I wasn't gonna survive my medical crisis. And now when I am saying that I am choosing to be proactive in my care and making sure that I get enough rest, that, because when I go back to work, then I can't be getting up throughout I know people do this, but I also had a health reason why. And even if I didn't, I get
Who
to
cares?
choose that, right? But
Exactly.
Black women don't get to choose that. It's like the audacity of us
And
to
what would
choose
be the
ourselves.
difference between you hiring someone
Mhm,
to help you and a
mhm.
relative coming in to do that same thing? It's acceptable under one circumstance, but to pay for help is
Mhm.
that's wild.
It is. And the other thing I always like to point out is that um, no one ever said that my husband didn't want to be a father because we
Right.
were getting a night nanny. So all of these things are like proof of what, of the reasons why I say Black women find it difficult. Because if you say, I'm going to do something, like I didn't ask anybody to pay for it, I didn't,
Right.
you know what I mean? I didn't like say that, I don't know, that I didn't say anything other than I'm going to do this because I think that this will be healthy for me, my husband, who also we had long commutes, and my child. My child's going to get the best of me.
Mhm.
I'm going to try to ensure that I don't have another medical crisis because the only reason that they
Exactly.
could give me was that it was stress related. So I'm trying to make sure that I live my life differently, that I'm extra careful and extra
Right.
cautious, but yet because all of us have been programmed that Black women don't deserve that, they had that automatic knee-jerk reaction. And it was so many people, and it was like, it was wild to me.
Yeah, that's disappointing. And
hmm
I would be a little, upset. I probably
hmm
would have stopped talking to some of those people for a little while because it's
hmm
like, seriously? I saw a TikTok a couple months ago where this girl said, I outsourced everything. She said, I didn't put my kid in daycare. I figured, okay, well, if a nanny is going to cost me this much in a month for these hours, and it's
hmm
not the whole day, it's
hmm
literally hours in the day. Instead
hmm
of putting my child in daycare, my
hmm
child's getting one on one attention, hands on,
in
things
their home.
exactly in their own home. And this child was so much smarter than,
Mhm.
because the nanny was certified in certain things where she was teaching
Mhm.
this baby multiple languages.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the mom was getting so many different things. The nanny was helping clean up the house. You know how
Mhm.
much stress that takes off of you when you can come home and know, okay, my child is cared for. They've had a great day. They're bathed. They're this. They're that. and all you have to do is come home and focus on being a mom.
Spend quality time with them. Yes, that's the ideal scenario, right? So, yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you can outsource, certain things, do it. I have friends that are like, yeah, I have a house cleaner come in, once a week. Do it. If you can afford to have somebody bring you meal preps for the week,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
do it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Why do we look at people's choices and say, oh, that makes you this, that makes you that?
It's so
For,
crazy.
I'm
Yeah.
all for it. If anything I can outsource now, I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. And we deserve that. I often think about like our ancestors too. A lot of them didn't have the options that we have. They didn't have the freedom, if we go way back, or they didn't have the resources, by far to do some of the things that we might have the resources and we have the freedom to do. And I think that if we were able to ask them,
Right.
what was your dream for me? What did you want us to be able to? They won't say that they wanted us to have their experience. So I also think that it's like dishonoring them to not do these things for ourselves if we can.
Right. Right. Because I want my child to, if you want to have your whole house automated,
Yeah,
do it.
I want them to have more than what we had. So yeah, for
Exactly.
sure.
Exactly. Do you feel like social media has turned self care into an aesthetic situation, instead of an actual lifestyle?
Maybe in some circumstances, but even if that's the case, I don't care. It's like the message is getting out there. You know what I mean? So even if
Hmm.
someone's just like, that's not really how it is, or it's just more for show, or they're showing this certain aesthetic that people are associating self-care with. I think it takes all different kinds of people and all different kinds of messaging, as long as Black people in particular, and Black women more specifically, are hearing those messages and
Hmm.
feeling like they are more supported to be able to engage in self-care. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
to
I agree.
me.
I agree because I said more people are now focused on themselves because of
Mhm,
the whole
mhm,
cliche side of it.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
And I'm just like, listen, I've realized even with myself that I'm really a push myself person sometimes. And even to the limit where it's like, okay, I'm up at this time. I've lived a whole life before
Mhm,
10 a.m.
mhm.
And people go, what? I'm like, yes, before 10 a.m. I've done this, 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 and this. And other people are just getting
Mhm,
started with their day.
mhm.
Like this morning, I was up at 5, actually got out of the bed by 5:15, got myself ready for work, out the door, in the office at 6, working, till I think I left out the door around 3:40ish. Went from there, went and did my laundry, came home. And when I tell, and I'm like, yeah, so
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'd rather do it so that way I tell people I try to do as much as I can during the week so that way my weekends
Mhm.
actually do feel more free.
Yeah, you can enjoy it. Yeah, I agree.
Because you only get that, it's
Mhm.
Friday and you blink and it's now Monday again.
Now it's Monday.
So I
Mhm.
don't want to take my weekends to do laundry. I don't want to take my weekends to go to the grocery store. I don't want to.
No. Yes.
So if I can busy up my weekdays and say,
Mhm.
you know what, it is what it is, then
Mhm.
that's what
It's
it's going to
great.
be.
That's kind of my strategy too. I've worked 410s for almost 10 years now, and it's been great because during the week I can do those errands, and like you
Mhm.
said, and on the weekends I can just be more present for my actual life, the parts of my life that I really enjoy.
Right. I agree. What are some ways that women neglect themselves without even realizing
Um,
it?
I always like to say that this is like my opinion. I never want to say unless it's like truly a fact that I can prove, and I never want people to feel judged, right? But
Right.
what I've seen and my opinion is you said how they neglect themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
They neglect themselves by slowly but surely losing their identity and living fully for other people. They neglect themselves by taking themselves off of the priority list and letting everybody else also do that and
Yes.
keep them off of that and being okay with it. Like some women don't even feel that it's a problem. They feel like it's an honor. They are, I see a lot of women engage in a lot of self sacrifice to a fault. I see a lot of women. I saw a Threads post today, and I think it was a doctor who had gone to like a medical conference of some sort, and she was a Black woman, and she said like we need to really be taking care of ourselves more and listening to the little whispers before they become a loud scream or before you're in the ER or worse.
Yes.
And so I see women brush off symptoms, pain that they might be feeling, saying, you know, I can push through. Pushing
Mm.
through, I don't believe in pushing through. I don't push through. So, like, if it's like harmful to me in some way, something has to change. I have to adjust, something has to be different because I think that we also have been socialized to push through no matter,
Mm-hmm.
and that's unhealthy and it's harmful. And I see us do it all the time. And
Yes.
it's expected of us. And so therefore, again, we don't think anything of it, but it's so just not good for us. So
Right.
those are some of the many ways that I see. I just see, I think the loss of identity too, like not even feeling like, or even I think realizing sometimes like, what movie do I want to see? Like what do I actually
Mm-hmm.
like? You know, it's just like, oh, whatever you guys want to do. And I'm just like, so those things they build up, right, into this existence that you are fully living for other people and you've
Yes.
abandoned yourself. And so it's really difficult and it takes very intentional thought to kind of unravel that and then get into who am I? What do I like? What do I need? Um,
Mm-hmm.
how do I care for myself or am I best cared for? It takes a lot to get back to that place or learn how to do that and think about those things when you give up so much and sometimes for so long.
Right. Right. That's actually what birthed, me doing this was
Sure.
I needed something of my own. I literally did not know who I was outside of the people that raised me, the person I was with, my kids. And this has actually it shown me a lot about myself. And
Mm.
people that I used to think were that much more important to me are not as important. Um, the way people think about me. Not that I don't, care, what people think, but it's not as high on my priority list
Mhm.
as it used to be. It's like as long as I'm not mistreating people, I'm not talking down on people.
Mhm.
I really don't care, too much what a lot of people think because I have to live for me. I have to be the one that stands in front of God when
Mhm.
that day
Mhm.
comes and say, okay, he thinks I was a good or a bad person.
Right.
But I did not know who I was for a very long time. Like I say, my grandparents raised me to be one way, and it was just like, oh, well, that's who I'm supposed to be. And then it was like, but am I?
Right. Yeah, we don't even ask those questions or push back on any messaging we receive. I think a lot of times we don't even think about doing that. And have a lot of people who they may not be like close friends, but like acquaintances, people in my network, people in my orbit in some way, shape, or form will say, "Oh, I just love how brave you are, how you speak up, you say what you want." And I'm like, oh, is that brave? I think brave is something else. Like, that's just regular to me because I'm going to make sure that I am a part of the planning, the conversation, the consideration. Like, it's just going to be, it has to be like that, or else I'm
Mhm.
not in the right situation.
Right. No, I totally agree with you on that. So definitely. And, even with the burnout and the exhaustion, that will humble you quickly if you don't get ahead of it. So,
Mhm.
yeah. What are some ways that you protect your peace while running your businesses?
Businesses, yeah. I don't say yes to everything. If I see if I see a yellow flag, not red, yellow, not orange, yellow, I'm addressing it right then and there, or I will decide like, oh, this partnership is not, gonna work out, or whatever. Um, I have boundaries. My
Hmm.
boundary game is super strong. So it's just like I don't answer my phone 24/7. Someone I just met with, another sister that also is a business owner, she and I had a scheduled meeting. She had an emergency and wasn't able to let me know. And I was like in the meeting and she wasn't there. So I waited for like 15 minutes and then I logged off and messaged her and said, like, I hope everything's okay. And she was like, I had this emergency. Um, it's resolved now. Can you meet like later this afternoon? And I was like, oh, no, I can't. I can meet a different day, but I can't meet today. Because that day I have Wednesdays off pretty much every week, and that after Wednesday afternoons is my time. Actually, my husband calls it Keesa Day because we go do whatever I want. So that might be going to lunch, we might go golf, we might go see a movie, whatever it is. We might go to the botanical gardens, walk by the water, whatever it is. I mean, it's all the normal stuff we do, but it's just like we know for a fact we're doing it that day and we're
Right.
turning everything off and we're going to just be together and be present. And so I could have told my husband, like, hey, I want to like meet with this. Like, he wouldn't have had an issue with it or anything, but um, my boundary is I was there at the time. I was sorry that she had the, emergency, but I will need to reschedule. And when we did have the reschedule meeting, she was like, I didn't even know about Keisa Day and all that, but I did clock that you were like, no, I'm not available this afternoon. And I'm like, and it's not that it's just that I want to have my boundaries really just be into, because I think that when your boundaries are loose,
Mhm.
I'm flexible to an extent, but when your boundaries are loose all the time, it's not really a boundary.
Right. It's a
Um,
suggestion.
it's a suggestion, yeah, and it doesn't really protect your peace because you're like all over the place. You're up, you're down. You're like, oh yeah, because there can be too much flexibility sometimes, and I wouldn't be honoring the fact that me and my husband set this time aside every week for each other, our relationship. It's really, me and his day. It's not really Keisa Day. He just calls it that because that's like a cute name for it. But I would be, not honoring that. And I think sometimes when we dishonor ourselves and our own boundaries, we also can be doing that to people that we love. And they need
Yeah,
to know that their self-care time and the things that we committed
exactly.
to do with them, that's really for us, is also going to be respected. So I think boundaries is a big one, not being on 24/7, not saying yes to everything, and being very clear about what's for me and what's like not in alignment, and not doing things that are not in alignment.
Right. I love that. And for everybody in relationships, yes, you must honor your time with your spouse because so many people don't make time for their partners. And that's why relationships are failing as well. People think, oh, it's cheating, it's money. I'm like, no, not making time intentionally.
Intentionally, yeah.
It destroys relationships.
Mhm.
So no.
Mhm.
I'm happy you do that because I feel like as Black women, especially, we get praised for endurance. Like,
Yeah.
just keep going, just keep going. People celebrate how strong we are, how we carry ourselves, and how much of a load that we carry. And it's just like, I don't want to be praised for that.
Nope. No, I
I
don't
don't
even want people to see me as strong. You know,
know.
like, because people get treated a certain way when they see you. Now, I don't want nobody to try me. I want them to understand that that's not going to work. But I don't want to be seen as strong because it's such a negative connotation for us. It's been such a
Hmm.
harmful label for us. So don't see me as strong. See me as someone that needs to be respected. See me as someone who deserves care. See me as human. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Because we
Exactly.
even have talked about, like in the medical and like healthcare spaces. I had that one medical emergency, but I've had many times where I've had to advocate for myself. And, we hear reports and stories about the healthcare system not believing that, our pain threshold is, the same as other communities. And I definitely go in and I'm like, my pain is at an 8, and I don't want to talk about anything else until we address this. I'm not a drug seeker. You know what I mean? You can look at
Right.
my records. And I'm just very like, I don't want you to see me as strong. I want you to see me as human in all
Hmm.
spaces. So whether that's work, community, healthcare, whatever. And I also had to get clear about how I was feeding that narrative as well, because I really loved being seen as strong. I felt like people seeing me as strong meant that they weren't going to try me, or they were going to,
Right.
what I mean? Like they knew I was going, to stand up for myself. But you can do that and still be seen as human. And I said, nope, don't even see me as that. See me as you would see your mom, or if it was your sister, or, your daughter, or whatever. So,
Hmm. Oh, I definitely agree. I had a situation when I had my youngest son and went to the hospital. My both my older two were premature. So I
yeah.
was not only geriatric by the time I had him, but high risk.
Mhm.
And two scares, they stopped contractions both times. Well, the last time I was going in labor, it was about a week before my due date. I said, listen, we coming home with a baby. They're not stopping nothing.
Mhm.
I'm coming home with a baby this time.
Mhm.
Get to the hospital. They're like, oh, yeah, you're in active labor, this, and that. And I said, okay. They're like, now we had a plan. We were going to go drug free like I did the first two. That didn't happen.
Mhm.
He looked at me and said, get the epidural. I'm like, oh, okay. Got the epidural. I'm like, okay, but now I'm not contracting anymore. I'm
Right.
not dilating anymore. They're like, oh, so we're going to have to start you on Pitocin. And I'm like, what? Did the Pitocin within 5 minutes. I'm like, I need to push. The doctor, mind you, she's a Black doctor. I tell her I need to push. She said, we just gave you the Pitocin. You don't need to push yet. Ma'am, I've done this before. I think I know if I need to push or not. She tells the nurse to come check me. They scrub up. Well, the nurse checks me. She's like, no, she's fully dilated. My water breaks as she's checking me. All they can say is everybody scrub up. This was the most bizarre situation where, uh-oh.
You had frozen on my side for a minute, but you're back now.
um, it was such a bizarre situation because I'm telling her I need to push. Nurse checks. She's like, no, she's fully dilated. Water breaks as she's checking me. They're like, scrub up. And I'm sitting here telling her, hey, like, I think I know. Finally get to push. And I'm telling her, it's just one thing after another. Well, she's not listening to me at all. Mind you, Black woman. She's
That
not
is so
listening.
crazy. And you've
Not,
had two kids before, so you know the
I know
deal.
what exactly. So not only did I rip because she's not listening to
Oh,
me,
man.
I fractured my pelvis. I didn't know at the time while I was in labor that I had fractured my pelvis. It wasn't until um, it was getting close to that 6-week checkup time. And my
Mhm.
mother-in-law looks at me and goes, you shouldn't be limping still. I said, I know it still
Mm.
hurts. So she went with me to my 6-week checkup. We get there. My primary doctors, because she was off. So I had to take the on-call doctor, which was the worst situation ever. She's checking me. She goes, And I said, what? She's like, I'm going to send you to the hospital for some x-rays. Okay. So we leave, go to the hospital, do the x-rays. And the lady that's doing, she's like, I said, what? She said, well, I can't tell you anything. Your doctor, has to go.
Right, because she's the tech.
Exactly. And then she goes, well, by the time you get back, everything will be there. So she can, I said, okay, fine. So then we pack up, we go back to the and we get there and she goes, so good news, bad news. I said, okay, let's do the good news first. She said, well, the good news is I'm going to take you off work for another couple of weeks so you can have more time with your baby. The bad news is your pelvis is fractured. Hmm. So what do we do about that? She said, well, there are two options. She said, we can go in and break it and try and repair it
All right.
and pray that it actually works, or you can just let it do its thing for the rest. And I said, huh. So if we break it, it may not fully heal. And I just went and had you add additional pain to me,
Right.
or I can just keep going with the pain. And so I chose the latter of the two and got some extra time with my child. But it was one of those where I'm just like, it's saddening when another Black woman doesn't listen.
Mhm. Oh, it's like devastating when that happens. It's like even worse than, yeah,
Because you feel betrayed.
absolutely.
And I
Yeah.
just went, okay. Not all skin folk is kinfolk. That's when that phrase really started making a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah. And it really does show how they've done a number on all of our mentality, I feel like, because, she was trained in a certain way. And just because you're part of the community doesn't mean you can't have stereotypes, against your community. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I took a long time to find a very specific doctor, and she's actually about to um, change her specialty, but she is a natural health primary care physician, and she's a Black woman. And I like searched for her. I went to a conference and saw two Black women who were natural health doctors. They did this workshop that I was in, they led it. And I wrote them afterwards and was like, are you all accepting new patients? Blah, blah, blah. And one of them was about to go to another country and like do some research, and another one was doing something else. And so I was like, but please recommend someone to me because I really want this experience. And so fortunately, I have been able to have her be my doctor for like 16 years or something. But she had said like 5 years ago that she was going to be shifting her focus. And I kind of freaked out. I was like, oh no, I can't navigate the healthcare space without you, because like I trust her. She
Right.
has, made, she has listened to me. She has given me proper support. I have like consistently gotten like 90-minute appointments with her. I'm pretty sure. I like lose track of time, but it's never like the 15-minute and get out of my face situation
Right.
that you get. So she, even though sometimes I have to go to a regular MD or a specialist or something, I always, check with her, and I have her as like an advocate, and I end up just like spending too much money, really. Well, not really too much. I spend more money than I think the average person, because I will go check with her. Like, I'll have her double check what, if I have to go to urgent care or something, she gotta like check that
Yeah.
before I make a move. I'm not like just listening to them. So, and now she is going to for sure do, shift her focus. And she had, she had like a special meeting with me to tell me, like, to like break the news to me. And she's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I am now, because, I've been with you for a long time. I feel confident that whoever you recommend to me will be great as well. And it's
Right.
not like you're going anywhere. I still will have some access to you." But it's such a precarious situation for us to engage in the healthcare system in any way. And I've just been very fortunate to be able to have this experience. But you're right. Sometimes I have not had that experience, especially if I go to someone other than her, whether they look like
Mhm.
me or not.
And that's what I was telling another friend when it comes to me in therapy. She's like, "Oh, is your
Mm,
therapist black?" And I went,
mm,
and it's not that I didn't try.
mhm,
I just had better luck with her. She I don't have to code switch, so I'm still
that's
able
good.
to talk exactly how I would to,
Mhm.
a friend. There's no judgment. Now she may go, "Did you really have to?" And I go, "No." But and there's no judgment, but she's gonna call me out.
Mm,
And, I need that. It's one of those where, I've tried to go to one of our own and it was just like, okay, I feel like you're trying too hard in
mm,
some ways. It wasn't genuine.
mm, mm.
But with her, it's like, okay. And I tell people all the time, finding a good therapist is like finding a good church.
That's what they say. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error, I think.
Yeah. So I'm thankful. So no, I won't just leave my therapist just because she's not, the right
Mhm.
complexion or whatever. Even with church, it's like, okay, if I go to one and I find one that really nourishes my soul, because there's no such thing as perfection. I don't care what anybody says.
That is true.
You have to find what's going to feed your
Work for you.
spirit.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
I
what I
think
say
that's
about self-care. It's not
literally,
one size fits all. You have to know what works for you. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off if you were going to say something else.
no, I mean, just like you're saying with self care, it looks different on different days as well.
For the sake, right. And when I often share that, prior to me having that medical um traumatic, emergency situation, I was practicing self-care before that, from 15 to
Right.
then. But number one, I realized that it wasn't sufficient. What I was calling self-care was really a band-aid, and my life, the way I was living my life, it was stretching me too thin. So the first thing I did when I recovered was I was like, I'm not going back to business as usual, even though I really wanted to get back to like my life. I was tired of being in
Right.
bed, all of that. I was like, I got to take 75% of these things off my schedule because my schedule is too packed. So just because I'm sleeping in on Saturday mornings, I'm recovering from doing too much during the week. I was working full
Yes.
time, going to school, going on date nights with my husband, trying to be a great daughter, flying back and forth to see my parent. It was just like too much. And I'm a Virgo, so I wanted to get straight A's in school. So like it was just too much. And it took a toll on me. And when you're young, I think a lot of times too, I don't think I think things might take a little bit longer to catch up to you. You're not feeling like
Hmm.
anything's wrong. Now I'm like, oh. what's that noise? What's that pop? You know, what is that? I'm not trying to shake stuff off. You know what I mean? But back then I did. And I think, and it was to my detriment. And it almost made me not survive. So I said, I'm taking 75% of the things on my schedule off because no one told me I had to go to school full time. I chose to do that.
Right.
Again, messaging like, oh, I want to get this done, or I don't know. I just don't even know why I was doing it. Was just like regular to me. Having a lot of stuff on my schedule was regular to me. I didn't think it was anything wrong with it. I didn't think it was impacting me in any way. And it was, and it impacted me in a very big way. Like my body really screamed at me. And so I said, let me listen. So yeah, and after I changed it, I really started being very clear about customizing and curating what my self-care needs were at the time. So like you said, at the time, it could be from day to day, it could look different what I
Mhm.
need, or where I am in my life, what's going on in my life, what my schedule is or is not,
Right.
what I like, what I don't. I might find a new hobby. It just might be a lot of different things that self-care will look different. And that's what I want people to know. Like what they're seeing on TikTok, that could maybe give you inspiration. Maybe it could give you some ideas, maybe spark some thought. But your self-care journey and practice needs to be curated and customized to you.
Oh, for sure. I have days where sometimes my self care is spending a couple hours with my best friend.
Mhm. Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
oh my God, like the way I feel so
Yeah.
much better after just
A good
being,
kiki with your friend.
yes, let me tell
It's
you.
spiritual,
I'm like, okay, I like people again. We can
right?
go out into the world. You cut me off, no problem.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, sometimes self-care is looking at my son and go, what you want for dinner? Praying he don't want me to cook. And he go, oh, can we go to Chick-fil-A? Yes.
That's self-care because now I'm not. Yes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
not that mom that's like, we got food at home because I don't want to eat that food at home sometime either.
Yes. Whatever it is that is self-care for you, that proves our point.
Exactly. I'm like, no. I'm like, but I do have my self maintenance because trust me, me and my nail lady are locked in, and
Okay. That's great.
I'd be like, ma'am, when can I come?
That's
So
good.
no, I definitely agree. But you have been, oh my gosh, you're a delight.
Thank you. So are you. I'm so happy we did this.
Me as well. Now, before we finish, I'm
Hmm.
going to do some quick sip questions
Okay.
because this is a wine show, so
It
we have to
is.
keep the lingo as it is, but
Yeah.
they would be as others would classify as rapid fire.
Okay.
So, you ready?
Yes.
What's one thing you do that instantly resets your mood?
Listen to music.
Virgo. What's your ideal do not bother me self-care day?
Um, I do not look at my phone. I take my watch off that's connected to my phone because that'll be buzzing and whatnot. Um, Getting under my weighted blanket, having my blackout curtains drawn, and and it's very clear like this is going to be a total rest day.
What's one boundary you'll never stop protecting?
Access to me.
Oh, mm-hmm. What's one thing black women need to stop feeling guilty about?
Having themselves on their own priority list.
There it is, you guys. Because listen, with the way you said the phone, I tell people all the time for the last 12 years, my phone goes on do not disturb at 10 p.m. If I answer you after 10, it's because I chose to look and see
Yes.
that
Yes.
notification. If I said goodnight to you and you see me on Instagram, mind your business.
That's right. That's right. That doesn't mean I'm available for calls.
I'm
That
not.
means
I'm not available for calls or texts. So
yes.
from
Right.
10 p.m. to 7 a.m., I don't care what you said to me. If I choose to respond, it's because I chose to respond. But during those hours, don't intentionally bother me because that's the firmest boundary I have stood on.
That's great.
Is
I
do
love
not
it.
disturb.
I love it. D&D. I love it.
And people, it's so funny because you see the memes. They go, people who sleep with their phones on do not disturb. Do you not care about people? Listen, if it's an actual emergency, why are you calling me?
Why
Call
not
911.
911? Correct. And this is
What
from
I
a
to do?
former 911 dispatcher. I used to be a 911 dispatcher. Please call 911.
Please
Don't
call
call your
911.
mama. Don't call, you can call them later. And
Right,
also, I always say, what am I going to do realistically in the middle of the night?
right.
There could be things that I do in the middle, you know, I'm not saying that that's always the case, but a lot of times people should be calling 911 first. Because as a former 911 dispatcher, sometimes when people don't do that, they make the situation worse. Now you got maybe a double emergency situation because you don't call somebody who's not actually equipped to deal with the situation. So they might pick up their phone and they might come to your aid, but now
And
both
you
of y'all are
delaying
broke down on the side of the road.
exactly, and you delaying progress. So
Yes, it's in
please call
progress.
911. Don't call me. You can text me and say,
Please.
hey, this is what's going on. And I'll be like, oh, do I need to bring you
Mm-hmm.
something? You
Mm-hmm.
know, but if it's an actual emergency, I'm not the listen.
Yes.
So yeah, that's one of my firmest boundaries. I need to be firmer on a lot of other things as well. But you know, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yes. Yes. We're all on our journeys.
But I definitely thank you because like self-care is not always pretty either. Sometimes it's a good cry in the shower,
I mean, yeah,
a
for
good
sure.
cry in the car
For
on your
sure.
phone. I mean, I've had moments
Absolutely.
where I'm like, I'm gonna sit in this car and eat my food and not let my family know I done snuck and ate something good without them because
Eat in peace. Yes.
and, and I used to be ashamed of it till I realized, no,
No, you don't
no,
get to do that.
I
See, the
needed
thing
this.
is, you might, I don't know that you're this way, but you might be one of those moms that puts little special things that you know your kids like in their lunch, right? But then why do we forget about putting the special things in our lunch? So that's your
Mm,
special thing. You eating what you like in your car. You
exactly.
are pouring into you like you pour into. We should get the same things that we give to everybody else. That's just the
Exactly.
simplest way to put it, right?
Hmm. Trust me. I mean, because even with my son, every now and then I'll pour his Sprite in a cute little glass and let
Yeah.
him feel special. People go, are you
Yes.
serious? I'm like, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Why not? But thank you. And let
You're
everybody know where they can
welcome.
find you on social media.
Yes, so I am at NaKeesa Marie across all platforms. And I also, my website is nakeesamarie.com. And I also have a promo code for your listeners if any of them would like to get a one of my self-care guides for kids, teens, or adults. The promo code is Yana25 all together for 25% off at checkout. And, because people are often looking for ways to enhance their, I don't want to say parenting, but like things that they can offer their kids. So the summer's coming up, and I have had parents tell me, like, oh, the summer's a great time for my kid to get your guide, because I'm going to, teach them about self-care and, use this as a resource. And it's only 30 days for kids. So they have the whole summer. They can do it once every other day or something. Or they can, stretch it out longer. There's no rules for how often you have to write in your book. And I have digital versions, and I have physical copies as well of all of my books. So
I
down to
love
25
that.
at checkout, and I will just keep that up indefinitely. So once this airs, whenever it does, people can get a book if they so choose for themselves or someone else.
I have to definitely do that because Lord help me. I want my baby to grow up. I want him to be a real well-rounded man for
Yeah.
whatever lucky woman gets him.
Yes.
And I tell people all the time, I said, I'm gonna have to make a video and apologize to whichever one does stick by him. So that way she knows when he does those little mess ups, I taught him right. I did.
You
I
taught him right.
Now I'm sorry that that day he chose. I mean, I have those moments where I'm like, dude, toilet seat. Like, it was one morning, because I work from home on certain days, and I came home, the drawer was open, the cabinets under the sink were open, the toilet. I said, "Oh my gosh." Now we know better, but that's what I came. And I started to just leave it all day. And I said, "That's petty. He's 10. Fix it."
Just fix it.
But yeah, it's one of those where you're just like, okay. But no, I want him to, and people go, "Oh, you let him talk back." I said, I don't look at it as talking back. I look at him as he is a human. He has feelings, and sometimes they need to be able to say, I don't like how, you said that to me, or I don't like how you did that. And it may, okay, let's talk about it. I apologize for that. I did not mean to make you feel that way. And you know what? I'm sorry I wasn't as patient as I could have been. So
Advocacy is self-care.
exactly. And if he can learn it early, then he'll be a much better communicator.
For
And
sure.
possibly won't be an avoidant, because Lord
Right.
help me. Don't get me started on those avoidant.
That'll be a whole nother show.
Listen. But I thank you again. This was awesome. I gotta check out your book club too. I love that.
Yeah, hit me up. I'll actually send you some information. I'm about to start another one because a lot of people can't meet on Sunday, so I'm gonna try to do one during lunchtime during the week.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
like
kind of gathering like a wait list for that. I probably won't start that till July, but
okay.
yeah, so I'll definitely let you know about all the details about that.
Thank you. Well, again, you were such a lovely guest. This was an awesome conversation, and I learned some things as well. So
Good.
I'm
I'm so
excited.
glad. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
If you have repeat guests, I would love to come on again
Oh, for
sometime in the
sure.
future. Um, and yeah, thank you so much. And pairing it with wine was fun. And so I appreciate you having me on, and I'm glad that you felt that you learned something, and I hope that your viewers do as well, and just are encouraged to know that everybody deserves self-care because they exist.
Yes.
Only qualification.
And cheers to you.
See you. Thank you.
Yes, you blessed. Like an aged bottle of wine, so fine. Not to mention it.